Previously on DrakeParagon.
If it's too uncomfortable, then we won't do it.
This ship's no AIS contacts. The wind has been 5 knots, 9 knots, 8 knots. The wind was pretty steady at like 15. 21 on the beam. All the blood rushes to your head.
This is the watch commander. What are you rolling your eyes at me for? 506 nautical miles to go. This changes everything.
Well, hello.
Well, hello. Actually, this kind of works. There's a little groove for my bum, so I don't go sliding everywhere now. I think you have to get into the groove. Okay. So have you been having any weird old memories coming back?
I would say yes,
Yeah.
especially during the night shifts, stuff like that. But even sometimes in the day shifts when you're up here alone, and I listen to my podcasts a lot. So that's occupying my brain, but other stuff, I'm like stuff I incorporated from dreams, stuff I remembered from when I was younger. What about you?
Yeah. Same.
It's off. It's like, you're like, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing really great because I had this wonderful day and I did this and this and this and I really just love today. And how are you doing? Fine.
This morning I was thinking of my granddad's old house, and like I'd completely forgotten the layout, but then I started to remember the smells, and started to remember like kind of what was on the walls and like the layout of the bedrooms, and then just being like, whoa, sounds cool. So it's all there, it's all still there, it's just, you know, you're preoccupied with stuff you just can't think about.
I think the brain is really weird.
There's a great book you'd like, it's called Incognito. There's like all the quirks and all the kind of like flaws in how the brain works. It was a tricky read, but it was fantastic. It had like examples of different things about the way you think and the way there's like flaws. And one is where you put the page up to your face and there's like 2 dots and one of the dots disappears. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't realize there's a blind spot on one of your eyes.
Yeah.
That like if you bring up 2 dots, like one will just disappear even though you're looking straight at it. I remember doing that and thinking, this is crazy.
Yeah. He has been putting that piece of paper up in front of his face for like 3 hours now.
Because there was another like diagram that I used in a presentation and I got like really good marks for it. Just like a picture of random stuff and then somebody draws 2 lines and then it looks like a face. And then you take the lines away again, but all you can still see is the face.
Yeah.
So once you've like put like pattern recognition, once you put it into place or something, it's really difficult to see something else like that. Anyway, that's a good book anyway.
Incognito.
Because did I bring any with me? I had this book, How to Develop and Train Your Memory and stuff as well. I think I have it on my Kindle. I don't know if I can give it to you or not, but definitely worthwhile.
Are you going down
I'm
below?
going to go down below.
Oh no.
And I will see you in a little while.
See you later. Hello. July 10th, 7:48 a.m. ship's time. It's really rolly. It's actually a little less so than it was earlier, but we're just going from side to side. I didn't sleep as well last night, so I'm a little tired today. But I'm listening to my podcasts, drinking a ton of water. We are several hundreds of miles from any land, and we've got these birds. They're kind of playing leapfrog with the boat. Like, they'll fly up just past the bow, land in the water, drift back, and then do the whole thing over again. And they're following us. And I'm wondering if they're going to go all the way to Greenland. Like, these are some hardcore seagulls out here. I keep expecting some, like, shark or something to, like, come out and take out, like, a whole little flock of these seagulls. Anyway. Alright, I'm going to get some more water and hang out. Have another hour on my shift.
job. Done. Job done.
5.7, 5.9, 5.7, 5.5 through the water, 5.3. Well, nothing under 4. Good call.
Because we can always see how it goes. I mean, we needed to take a refit anyway, so might as well. Save you some money on diesel.
It would be nice. 4 through the water, but we're doing 4.3 over ground, and that's, for me, that's what really matters. What we're doing over ground, what we're doing through the water doesn't necessarily mean as much for me because I'm not so sure I believe it. Like, how can they calibrate that propeller to go so perfectly? What if it gets a little crap in the propeller, then it doesn't spin as freely, you know? In any case, speed over ground is 4.5. And we're on the run line, so yes, that's good. So bagel with cream cheese, eh? For breakfast? Good call on taking the reef out of the main. We're now going over 5 knots under sail and not running the engine.
Because I was thinking, it was like, when we were motoring, it was still 8 knots, like. And I was just looking at the true wind and it was like 11 going to 12. And I'm just thinking,
oh, that's
yeah,
enough.
and I was like, that's enough to be sailing with. And then it dropped off a little bit, and then it was kind of around the 11, and I was like, you know what, back it, sure. I mean, if nothing else, at least we have the refade, so if wind picks up, then we can sail.
Yeah. When we get to some safe port, I'm looking forward to taking that boom off the mast and examining it. Maybe it's something that we can fix in Nook if we can find an aluminum guy, you know, or a welder guy. If not, then maybe I could order that part from the States and have it shipped.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long it would take to get to Greenland. Or maybe we'll have it sent on to Iceland so we have it when we get there. Or maybe we'll just sail to Ireland and I'll have it sent to your house.
Yeah.
It seems to be doing okay so far.
Yeah.
This is day 7. I'm making bagels. Toasting bagels in the pan. And then we'll go through some cream cheese.
So I just started my watch. It's 12:15. Now we've set the sails. Took the reefs out of the main. So we have a full main and a full jib out. And we're on a broad reach to Greenland. So it's going well. Just about to have some awesome breakfast. Made by Drake himself. Wow, check this out. So I'm gonna have my orange juice, my bagel, and then I'll have my watch, which have got like 12 knot winds, following seas. It's not rolly at all now. It was really rolly this morning. Everything's going great. We're doing over 5 knots now. We're doing like 5 to 6 knots. So Pamute, here we come. Nothing on radar. As far as I can see. So it's all quiet. I'm gonna eat my breakfast. Delicious.
This says satellite drive positions should be moved 8 seconds northward and 28 seconds westward to agree with the chart. So say the book says that Pamute is located at well shit, I mean, do we go by the chart or do we go by the book? Which is right? 28 seconds is half a minute. It's like half a mile difference.
Showing more than half a mile where we were looking.
Yeah. Yeah, it was showing like a 3 mile difference.
Yeah, it's showing like 3 minutes.
This changes everything. Like, how on earth could a chart plotter company have a chart plotting product of an area where it's all wrong? I mean,
How can they do that?
One thing's for sure. We can't possibly even consider coming in without really good visibility. How could they come out with a product where it says this is where it is and it's really 3 miles off? One way or another, we'll figure it out. I can't believe in all of my research of Greenland, I never found any mention of the fact that the charts are all wrong.
I don't know if it's the fact that we're just using a different datum on the chart plotter.
What does that mean? What's a datum?
So say like if there's one point where they set as 0, a different chart datum might set a different position as the point 0. So it's all right, but it's just off by a particular...
They call it datum?
The chart datum. So like that, there might be a setting that we just don't have set up right.
I'll go look at the manual for the chart plotter to see if there's any mention of resetting the datum.
So just to explain what's going on, we were looking up one of the anchorages in Greenland that we wanted to go see, and we noticed that the grid reference that was given in the cruising guide didn't match the position that we were looking at on the chart plotter. We checked a few different positions and they were all off by quite a lot. So it means that we couldn't rely on the chart plotter to get us to that particular position without maybe going in the wrong direction or something. So we're looking now at the paper charts to see is the position given in the cruising guide the correct position, so that we can narrow that, we can cross that out as an option. And then Drake is looking at the manual for the GPS or for the chart plotter to question, is there something called a chart datum or a chart datum, which is kind of uses different points of reference for making the map. So there might be a different starting point or a different setting that we can change it, so that it'll actually set it up so that we're on the right position, because we haven't had any problems with this before. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll just keep you in touch, because this is kind of particularly for Greenland when there's some narrow navigation. You want to make sure that it's right, but I think we'll figure it out, because it's better we find it now than when we get there and we realise, wait, we're on top of rocks. But I think it's perfect, because we've got like a week to figure this out, so I think it'll be okay. Be fine.
Older Danish charts of the West Coast are based on Coronado 1927 international datum, which may be used if the setting is available. Older Danish charts of the West Coast are based on Coronado 1927. If using the WGS 84 setting, satellite drive position should be moved 8 seconds northward and 28 seconds westward to agree with the chart. I don't care if it agrees with the chart, I just wanted to agree with land. The older Danish charts are based on Coronado. If you can make your GPS work with Coronado, then do it. But if you can't, then you have to actually subtract some seconds north and west to make your chart plotter agree with the chart. New charts will be converted to WGS 84 as they come up for revision. So, like, when the new version of this chart comes out, it's going to match what's on the chart plotter. That's just a theory.
What year is that from?
First edition 1968, printed in 2000. This was printed 12 years ago.
But that's even newer than the cruising guide.
The cruising guide was published in 2004. The chart was published in 2000. I'm led to believe that the electronic chart is probably the most recent version available, because it being electronic, it's easier to make sure you've got the latest version. So which one's right? I mean, is Coronado right, or is WGS 84 right? So we've got these two competing systems. One's older and one's newer. One's Coronado and the other one's WGS 84. Older charts were made with Coronado. 2000 seems pretty old to me. New charts will be made with WGS 84. The whole Coronado system is being thrown out the window. I'm betting that the Faroe chart plotter, everything, all of which is just recently purchased new, must be with the new system, the WGS 84 system. These charts are old. So when this guy was putting his positions into this book, was he going by Coronado or was he going by WGS 84? He doesn't say. Older charts are based on Coronado. If using WGS 84, satellite-derived positions should be moved northward and westward to agree with the chart, with the Coronado chart, with the Coronado chart. The thing is, the positions that he's giving in the book don't match what's on the chart plot.
Do you mind if I kind of have a play around with this and look at stuff and settings and all that? Yeah? Okay. Because whatever I'll do, I'll know that I'll be able to get it back to whatever.
Just don't, the only thing that I think you can do wrong is if you delete the charts.
Yeah.
Don't delete the charts. It only takes 2 button clicks to delete the chart also. You click on the chart name and then the menu comes up and says delete and you click on that.
No.
So don't do that. So we think we want to tie up maybe in here, eh? So we think we're looking at commute on the chart plotter. The fish processing plant was reported to be closing in 2002. Maybe that's a Fiska Industry thing right there. Fiska Industry, it also says
Packers Fishes Industries. It's so easy to speak Greenland.
Rather drab blocks of flats and high unemployment detract from the beauty of this place. Whatever. Commute has a reputation of being one of the more difficult harbors to approach because of ice brought round on the East Greenland current, even as late as August. The harbor does not make itself obvious, but the burnt-out wreck of the Greenland Star on the rocks in the entrance is a useful landmark, as in don't go there, maybe. Is there a wreck? With the closure of the fish factory, it should be possible to lie alongside one of the quays. The narrow creek, where a lot of small craft are on marina-type floats, is shallow.
Right.
And not suitable for a yacht. I bet that maybe that's what that is. Maybe that's where we should not be going.
Yeah.
Even though the depths look fine in there according to the chart. So, where are these keys? Maybe in here?
Maybe.
Maybe over there? You know, we have all these high-tech tools, but it still feels like we're kind of like on the outskirts of the frontier here, man.
Not many people have gone there before.
Not many people have gone there. Let's make a route all the way into harbor. We'll start right here. Right next to the fish processing plant in Commute. We don't exactly know where we're going to tie up, but we assume it's going to be somewhere in this harbor. We have knowledge from this book that the creek, if it's talking about this, is too shallow for us, even though the markings on the chart make it look like it's okay. In any case, we're going to go right there. So I'm going to click on it and say routes, new, and then we'll start our merry way back to the boat. And that will be our route. And I can edit these waypoints as we go. Straight out to here. The hell is that? What's that?
Off the chart.
It doesn't even give us depths in there, so we probably don't want to go anywhere in there. Whatever rent means probably means bad.
You go in here, you rent another boat.
So let's go around it. And it looks like we're straight out from there. We have our route, and if I go to menu, and look at the routes, click on it and say go to, I gotta say reverse the navigation of the route. So go to routes and say reverse. Now we have a route taking us all the way into Pamute. Total to go is 3 days and 4 hours. It doesn't give me how many miles because it's retarded. Alright, let's go to the very last waypoint. Time to go 3 days, 1 hour. ETA July 13th.
Okay. How do you feel now?
I feel better.
Good.
I think the old charts are wrong, and the chart plotter is probably right. 1,500 people.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Is it like 1,500
It's like
people?
Kinsale. Yeah.
In Pamute.
Yeah.
And these 1,500 people probably live there in Pamute year round.
When it gets really cold.
Yeah. Do you think we know cold?
You don't know cold.
I don't know.
Sometimes I think whether it'd be good to go and stay in a cabin like that for the winter. You might go a bit crazy, but I think if you're used to living on a boat, you might be
You're
okay.
used to going crazy.
You kind of deal with it, like.
I'll make hot dogs for lunch today. Cheese, mustard, hot dogs in the skillet.
And we're on the rum line as well.
Beautiful.
On the rum line.
Full day of pleasant sailing without the engine. Very nice. Can't believe in a few days we'll be in Pamute.
Walking down the street by myself, and I'm thinking about the day before. Walking down the street by myself, and I'm thinking about the day before. Walking down the street by myself, and I'm thinking about the day before. Walking down the street by myself, and I'm thinking about the day before.